The universe is not punishing you. The cosmic judge you've been appealing to doesn't exist. The ancient Egyptians proved it 1400 years ago. The Book of the Dead, 1550 BCE, contains 42 declarations of alignment with natural law, and a figure called Thoth records every word. Keep him in mind. When something goes wrong, millions ask, "What did I do to deserve this?" That question is the trap. It outsources your power to a judge that doesn't exist. Today we trace this principle through Newton, the Corpus Hermeticum, and Egypt's Hall of Judgment. Not spiritual comfort, operational mechanics. You'll leave with a 3-step protocol. Karma comes from Sanskrit, karman, meaning action or deed, not punishment, action. The cosmic justice version is 50 years old. The mechanical version is 3,400. Not the same thing. The definitive Sanskrit dictionary defines karma as act, action, deed. No mention of punishment, no mention of justice, physics, not judgment. The Kybalions' 7th principle, cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. Law, not a judge. Thoth, ibis-headed god of writing, in Egypt's Hall of Judgment, he stands to the side with his reed pen and records the result. Reflective, he's not the judge, he just writes. Keep that. Authoritative, Mot is mistranslated as justice. The original meaning, cosmic order, balance, natural law. The scales don't punish, they measure alignment. That's cause and effect, not retribution. The Book of the Dead's 42 declarations are not confessions of sin. Authoritative, they're statements of what you have not done. Causal alignment, not crimes against a god. The Dhammapada, mind is the forerunner of all actions. Marcus Aurelius, everything is connected. Egyptian, Hermetic, Buddhist, Stoic, 4 traditions, 1 conclusion. The universe operates through law, not a judge. In the 1980s, New Age publishing turned karma into revenge fantasy. She has bad karma. This is cosmic law privatized into tribal emotion. Neurologically, it activates your grievance circuits. Believing you deserve punishment activates the same neural pathways as social rejection. Intense, you physically build a brain that expects to be punished. That's not spiritual damage, that's biological damage. Karma is a blind mechanical law, not moral judgment. The most important question isn't what is karma, it's how does the actual mechanism work? Let's find out. The Corpus Hermeticum, 100 to 300 CE, is the primary Hermetic evidence base. Its formulation, souls receive consequences from alignment or misalignment with divine law. Physics vocabulary, not court vocabulary. Tractate 11, all things are one, and one is all. If everything is one system, every cause ripples through without exception, and thought is a cause. The chain begins in your mind. Newton's Principia, 1687, Law 3, for every action an equal and opposite reaction. Nobody connects this to the text saying the same thing 1400 years ago. Newton privately translated the Emerald Tablet. He was formalizing ancient wisdom into mathematics. Mentalism says reality is mental substance. Cause and effect says that substance operates through unbreakable law. Mind is the medium. Cause and effect is the operating rule. Your thoughts are causes within reality. The Emerald Tablet says, as above, so below. As below, so above. Bidirectional causality. Causes become effects, and effects become new causes. Newton built calculus partly to describe this feedback system. Hebb's Law, 1949, neurons that fire together, wire together. Repeat any thought and your brain physically builds infrastructure to support it. The Hermeticists described this 1700 years before neuroscience confirmed it. The Hermetic model identifies three planes: mental, emotional, and physical. Causes from the mental plane descend into emotion, then manifest physically. The most powerful intervention point is thought. Change the cause, change the effect. Hermes Trismegistus, the Hermetic corpus's attributed author, is a deliberate syncretism. Greek Hermes merged with Egyptian Thoth. Garth Fowden documents this in the Egyptian Hermes. Reflective, the author of Hermetic Cause and Effect is the same figure recording that law in Egypt's Hall of Judgment. The Kybalion, the masses are carried along obedient to environment, but the masters rise above causation by operating from a higher plane. You can't escape the law, but you can change which plane you operate from. The Buddha was explicitly asked whether suffering is caused by past deeds or a god. His answer: suffering arises from present conditions and causes, not divine punishment. Same conclusion as the Hermeticists, independently. Chrysippus, 280 BCE, defined fate as an ordered sequence of causes from which no event is disconnected. Egyptian, Stoic, Hermetic, Buddhist, Sanskrit, 5 traditions, 5 identical causal doctrines. This is the signature of a real principle. Genuinely contested, scholars argue karma is morally weighted, that intention carries different causal weight than accident. The Hermetic model says intention is a cause affecting the quality of the effect. Is that moral weighting or just more precise mechanics? That stays open. In 1460, a monk brought the Corpus Hermeticum to Cosimo de' Medici. Cosimo ordered Ficino to stop translating Plato, and translate this first. He believed he'd found something older than civilization's philosophical foundation. Ficino completed the translation in 1463. Da Vinci, Giordano Bruno, Pico della Mirandola, all steeped in Hermetic philosophy. These principles were recoveries, not inventions. The transmission chain: Egypt, 3400 BCE, Sanskrit, 1500 BCE, Stoic, 280 BCE, Hermetic, 300 CE, Ficino, 1463, Newton, 1687. 5,000 years, one unbroken principle. The punishment version, 50 years old. Chaos theory, Lorenz, 1963, proves the causal system is deterministic. Every effect has a cause. Nothing escapes. The universe isn't fair the way a judge would be fair. The law doesn't care about deserving. It executes causation. At his temple in Hermopolis, Thoth is named Lord of Ma'at. Thoth is custodian of natural law, not its enforcer. He records outcomes. He never punishes. The law operates itself. Thoth writes it down. The punishment model's specific trap: suffering triggers guilt. Guilt triggers passivity. Passivity means no new causes are initiated. Nothing changes. Suffering is diagnostic, not punitive. It's information. That's power. Unconscious causes produce effects that feel like fate because you didn't see them coming. Deliberate causes, initiated from the mental plane, produce predictable effects. Being carried by the current versus navigating it. Same river, completely different outcomes. The habit loop: cue, routine, reward. The Hermetic causal chain: thought, emotion, action. Structurally identical. The ancient model just identified the highest order lever, thought, that behavioral science is only now beginning to address. Karma is cause and effect. Ma'at, the 7th Hermetic principle, Newton's 3rd law. Thought initiates cause. Emotion amplifies. Action delivers. That's the answer. That's what karma is. Case closed? Except there's a problem. If the law is perfectly neutral, Why do good people suffer? The Hermetic answer risks becoming the punishment model we just dismantled. A child born into poverty, what causes are they operating from? The mechanical model has a gap. Intense, the Corpus Hermeticum, Tractate 2, nothing is ungoverned. All things. This introduces collective causation, the causal field generated by all human consciousness. You can experience effects from causes you didn't personally initiate. Not punishment, but not simple individual mechanics. Egyptian encoded this explicitly. Ma'at was social and cosmic. The entire community maintained or violated it together. Curious, one person at high consciousness doesn't escape the collective field, they navigate it with greater skill. The upgraded model, your personal causal field operates within a larger collective causal field. You can't always control what the collective sends towards you, but your response is itself a new cause. The Hermetic practitioner reads the field and navigates intentionally. More liberating than the punishment model, not less. In punishment, you deserve what happens to you. Your only agency is to hope the judge notices. In the Hermetic model, you are an active agent. One identity makes you a defendant, the other makes you an engineer. More demanding than the punishment model. Monitor your thoughts, they are causes. Monitor your emotions, they amplify causes. Monitor your actions, they are effects becoming new causes. This is not manifesting, this is causal engineering, and accepting it has a cost. To accept this model fully, you must release the identity of the victim of cosmic injustice. The Hermetic model doesn't soothe the same way. It says you are the engineer. That is a difficult gift. This does not mean everything that happens is your fault. Fast, the collective field is real. Slow, but your response to every incoming effect is itself a new cause. You didn't choose the hand, you choose how you play it. With that cost named, we're ready for what this investigation has been building towards since Clip 2. A figure mentioned twice in passing, a scribe, someone who stands beside the scales and writes, Thoth, the key to everything. In 332 BCE, Alexander conquered Egypt. Greek and Egyptian cultures merged in Alexandria. Greek scholars identified Thoth, recorder of cosmic law, as equivalent to their god Hermes. The merged figure, Hermes Trismegistus, the author of Hermetic Cause and Effect, records and never punishes the operation of causal law. Garth Fowden documents that Thoth's role was custodian and recorder of Ma'at, not its enforcer. Thoth doesn't punish, he writes what the law produces. The teaching and the teacher are structurally identical. Here is the missing link. Thoth, the recorder who never punishes, becomes Hermes Trismegistus. The tradition teaches a law without judgment. Newton sees this and writes, for every action, an equal and opposite reaction. 3,400 years, from the Nile to Cambridge. A pen, not a sword. The transmission chain fixed in your mind. Egypt, Thoth encodes Ma'at. Alexandria, Thoth becomes Hermes Trismegistus. Florence, Ficino translates it. Cambridge, Newton mathematicizes it. One principle, one unbroken line, from a reed pen to the equations that put satellites in orbit. We promised in Clip 1, the universe is not punishing you. The cosmic judge doesn't exist. That promise has been kept. Historically documented, scientifically confirmed, cross-tradition verified. The feather is not an accusation, it is a reference point. Change the causes, change the effects. Most people ask, why is this happening to me? The Hermetic practitioner asks, what causes are active and which can I redirect? The first question makes you a defendant. The second makes you an investigator. The Hall of Judgment was always a hall of investigation. The Emerald Tablet. Its father is the sun, its mother the moon. The sun is the active cause. The moon is the receptive medium. The effect is generated by their union. The effect is born from the cause, not awarded, not punished, generated, without exception. Investigation complete. Evidence assembled. Shadow thread converged. Cause and effect blind, mechanical, without moral evaluation. Thoth records it. Newton proved it. Neuroscience confirmed it. Understanding karma as physics rather than punishment is the doorway to a completely different operating system. The paradigm shift in one sentence. You are not a defendant awaiting the universe's verdict. You are a node in a causal network. When something goes wrong, the question is no longer, what did I deserve? It's, what should I consciously initiate right now? 3 specific intervention points. First, the mental plane, the primary lever. Precise thought initiates the highest quality cause. Second, the emotional plane, the amplifier. Genuine emotion makes thought stronger. Third, the physical plane. Actions produce feedback that returns to the mental plane. Observe, adjust, reinitiate. Practically, no mysticism. Identify the dominant thought pattern currently generating your circumstances, not by blaming yourself, by investigating. What thoughts do I run? What emotional charge? What circumstances result? Once you identify the dominant cause, you can replace it with something more precise. Every cause you plant doesn't produce one effect, it produces effects that become new causes. The causal chain you initiate today is a lineage, not a single event. The masters aren't more powerful in the moment, they're more patient. You're not doing positive thinking, you're planting a forest. Da Vinci kept notebooks spanning 40 years. He initiated causes, observation, experiment, feedback, adjusted hypothesis. The Vitruvian Man encodes the human being as a 3-plane causal instrument: mind, vital force, body. Not a genius waiting to be rewarded, an engineer of causes. Most self-help frameworks skip the middle, emotion as causal amplifier. A thought held with high emotional engagement operates at a higher causal frequency than the same thought held coldly. Affirmations without emotional investment produce nothing. The emotion is the amplifier. The Hall of Judgment is not a courtroom. It is a laboratory. Mott is the reference standard. Anubis is a precision instrument. Thoth is a scientist recording data. You are not a defendant. You are a researcher reviewing experimental results. That is what karma actually is. Nothing about your circumstances has changed. Whatever you walked in carrying is still there. What has changed is your relationship to it. Instead of, why is the universe punishing me, what causes are most active and what do I consciously want to initiate next? Marcus Aurelius, facing campaigns, plague, the deaths of children, never asked, why is fate punishing me? He asked, what is in my causal control right now? You have power over your mind, not outside events. Hermetic causal practice 1700 years before it had that name. Now, let's make this operational. Knowledge of the law is necessary but not sufficient. What separates the masters is not knowledge, it's the operational practice. 3-step protocol, not motivation, not self-help, precision causal engineering. Let's build it. Step 1, the causal audit. 3 columns. First, what thought patterns do you actually run habitually? Second, what emotional charge do those thoughts carry? Third, what current circumstances correspond? The correspondence between column 1 and column 3 is real-time feedback from causal law, not punishment, feedback. The audit requires specificity. I've been thinking negatively is not an audit, it's self-criticism. An audit sounds like, when I encounter uncertainty, I habitually think I'm going to fail. That carries anticipatory shame. My circumstance of avoiding opportunities corresponds directly. Now you have something to work with. Step 2. Redirect the mental lever, not by fighting the old thought, by replacing it with a more precise cause. A cause sounds like, in the next 48 hours, I will take this specific action. Specific, time-bound, emotionally engaged. That is a cause, not a wish. The full 3-step protocol. Step 1. The causal audit. Identify the dominant thought pattern. Step 2. Redirect the mental lever. Replace it with a precise, time-bound cause. Step 3. Emotional amplification. Engage genuine investment in why this cause matters. This is what Thoth was recording, not sins, results. The Hermetic model does not promise instant results. Mental cause becomes emotional amplification, days to weeks. Emotional amplification becomes physical action. Action produces circumstances. A forest takes decades. You plant it today. The Hermetic practitioner is a patient engineer, not an impatient consumer. The second debate seed, genuinely open. If you become obsessed with managing your causal field, does that obsession itself become a cause of anxiety? Is there a point where Hermetic causal mastery becomes a new prison, equally confining? I don't resolve it. What do you think? The Emerald Tablet contains the antidote. It rises from earth to heaven and descends again. A cycle, not a grip. Plant with precision, amplify with genuine emotion. Then, critically, release it to the causal field. Release trusts the law. Detachment avoids it. Hermetic mastery does not make you immune to the collective causal field. The Hermetic practitioner is not someone to whom bad things don't happen. They are someone with a different relationship to what happens. Every incoming effect is information, not punishment. What you initiate in response, that is mastery. The emotional amplification practice. Find your specific, time-bound intention. Ask, why does this outcome genuinely matter to you? That question generates real emotional engagement, not manufactured enthusiasm. Hold that engagement for a minimum of 5 minutes daily. Both the Hermeticists and neuroscience arrive at the same instruction: targeted attention. Over time, with the audit running consistently, the Hermetic practitioner recognizes something. Feedback loops become faster. Thought-to-circumstance correspondence becomes more visible. Not because the universe rewards you, because you've built neural infrastructure through Heb's law that processes causal information more efficiently. The seeker's dilemma, the tension at the center of every Hermetic ascent investigation. Can these principles be lived or only understood? The practitioner who actually runs the audit every morning is rare. This video gives you the map. The territory requires daily practice. That gap is where this tradition prominently lives. Start the causal audit today, not tomorrow. 3 columns, 7 minutes. That's the minimum viable initiation of a new cause. You are not confessing to a cosmic judge. Your circumstances are not evidence of your worth. They are data about your active causes. Distinguish those two things. Everything becomes workable. Karma is cause and effect, encoded in Egypt as Ma'at, systematized in the Corpus Hermeticum, verified by Stoic philosophy, Buddhism, and physics. Blind, mechanical, it does not judge you, it responds to you. The punishment model takes your agency. The Hermetic model gives it back. One question remains. Here's the implication this investigation doesn't explore. If thought is the primary cause, then collective human suffering is the output of collective causes operating without conscious direction. What is the causal practitioner's obligation to the collective causal field? Personal mastery is one thing, but what are you responsible for causing in the world you share with everyone else? The final theory: the universe operates through a single principle encoded in every language since before written history: cause and effect. No moral dimension, no preference for you or against you. Perfect consistency. The causes you initiate will produce their corresponding effects every time, without judgment, without mercy, and without cruelty, recorded by a scribe who never once drew a sword. You've escaped the karma trap. But if you're still using vision boards hoping the universe rewards you, you're still in the matrix. The Secret built a billion-dollar industry on a distortion of these same principles. That distortion specifically blocks the mental plane access that actually makes the law work. The Secret claims to use the law of attraction, which is Hermetic, but it strips out the operational mechanics that make it work. What remains is wish fulfillment dressed in ancient philosophy. The investigation into exactly how The Secret broke the system is already on the screen. Click it. Hermetic Ascent, Ancient Wisdom for Modern Seekers. Click the video right now to learn why The Secret is keeping you broke. Because once you understand the universe doesn't owe you justice, you're finally ready to ask, why are so many people trying to sell you the idea that it does?